Hi everybody. I'm right now in this beautiful, beautiful place right close to Ngorongoro crater in Tanzania, and I'm just so blessed with this most beautiful view behind me. And I just wanted to say that there's always three things that, whatever you want to call it, if you call it like the dark energy or the dark, like the fallen angels, Satan, or whatever you want to title it, but that the negative energy and the negative forces in this world are trying to use to stop good people doing like good things manifesting in this world. And once you've surrendered your life to service, and once you've given your life and laid it down to serve God, then you will come across the fact that there will come challenges along your way. It doesn't mean now the path is easy and now you just have to trust and have faith and walk the path. It's part of that, but there will come challenges at you, and it's not, most of the time, it's actually not a very easy path to walk to actually follow Christ. But it's definitely a path worth following. And what I've noticed is that there's always three things that those dark, let's call them fallen angels, are going to try to use against people who are following this path of Christ. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to tempt us. They're trying to tempt us with worldly desires, to let us be distracted from the task that God has given us and the path that God has given us. And by doing that, they're hoping to make us fall with them. And in our human nature, there is this inner conflict anyways between the world and Christ. So following Christ means basically that every day we have to decide to follow Christ. Every moment we have to surrender to Christ. And if we're not taking that time to be still enough and be centered enough to be able to hear Christ and to be guarded as well in our spirit, then we're always at risk to those temptations of the world, and also to those intended temptations, let's say, because you will find that not everybody experiences those temptations, because not everybody is walking in the path that God is asking them to walk necessarily. But you will often find people who do walk like unusual and a way that has maybe never been walked before, or just like have like something asked of them by God that is going to bring change in this realm and in this world. And those fallen angels really would like to stop that, because they don't want those good things coming into the world. They don't want us to spread love and light and to build beautiful change and healing for people. And you can see that, like what I can at least witness from the life that we are living, and being so close by John's side and seeing what he has, like the amount of battles that he has to endure all the time, like constantly, and also like us as a family doing this path together, I can see that there's always three things that that the fallen angels are trying to use, and those are basically power, money, and sex. And this is basically, those three things throughout history are always the weapons to make good people fall. And everybody has their own, I think, weakness, like weak link in a way. And you better be aware that the fallen angels know that. They know you, like they're watching us, and they know fine well where they are having a chance to get us. That's why it's so important that we really know ourselves, because when we're not aware of ourselves, then we leave open the gaps where the fallen angels can come and attack us. So basically, like I've witnessed this in our life and in the lives around us, from people following Christ, that those three things are always used as the weapon. And when you look at someone like John, for example, who has become a person that people listen to and look up to, and they, like me too, like we all acknowledge that he has some connection to God, that he can channel things straight through, and that he just gives this space for God to fill him with this enormous light and love that he is able to spread out into the world. And John is so gifted with his words that he is able to put it in perfect words. And that's why people understand by listening to him. It's like this moment where, like, it's like ding, the light goes on, and you're like, now I understand, I can see, like, now I see. And he has a huge gift, like being able to do that. And I can see that that this on one side, and then on the other side the work that we're doing, and him being such a key role in the safety and security for the children. Like, he's in a position where where, of course, number one, like, of course the fallen angels want to tempt him, because if he was to fall, then that would mean that a lot of people would lose hope, and a lot of children would end up suffering enormous suffering, and it would cause, like, hopelessness and faithful, like, lost of, like, people would lose faith all over the world. And this is just an example showing him. There's other people on, and like, like, you can look around you and you will be able to see that where you can see there is, like, a strong, like, you can say, like, light warrior, someone walking in the light of God, and someone just saying no to the world and saying, no, I am here to bring light into this world. And if you can see someone like that, you will be able to witness that they will be tempted by the world, and this can be one of those three things. It does not matter what it is. It just means, like, those are the three weaklings of humanity. And this is the weapon that the fallen ones are going to try to use to bring us down, and to bring us into the world, and to bind us to the world, and to make us weak, basically, and bring us away from spirit, because they're going to try to pull us into the flesh. They're trying to pull us into our desire of being acknowledged for what we're doing, or how do you want to say, like, acknowledged for who we are, like, or it's basically all around the ego. Like, we want to be rewarded for what we are, like, in form of money, or we want to be acknowledged in form of power, or we want to be seen for the greatness of our ego in the form of sexual desire from other people. And below all of that, like, is a fight that people who are walking in the path of Christ have to it's not as such a fight, but it's just, like, the only way to be strong and shielded from all of this is by every day and every moment choosing Christ. And this is where prayer is so important, because if we do not pray, then we will not be shielded, and then those temptations can easily access us, even if it's just a tiny little thought in our mind. It is a seed that will stay somewhere, and at some point it will bloom, and then we are in trouble. So what I can see is from our life that without that shield and without that prayer, there's just going to, you're just going to make yourself open for those temptations, and that will mean that you will suffer, because you're putting your shield down, and that means you're going to get attacked. And those attacks are just not nice, because they are going to shake your construct of your roots in God. Your anchor in God is going to be shaken by this. So just keeping the prayer happening, and keep praying, be with God. Like, that's all we can do to anchor ourselves into the light, and to anchor ourselves into me-lessness and making sure that we are shielded against what the world has to offer for us, so that we are protected and secure. And by doing that, it does not mean that we are saying no to the world, because God sees us as what we are and who we are, and God knows this side of us too. And I have witnessed more than once how God does reward us for the work that we do, and how God does bring miracles and unexpected blessings into lives, not only our own life, but lives in general around people who are walking in Christ. But then it is a genuine blessing, a blessing that is out of sheer gratitude from the universe to you, being one with it, like not being separate, but just like, it's just for the beauty of the moment happening, and it's not for a mind trying to control and trying to grab something that it wants for itself to be rewarded, acknowledged, desired. And so remember to always keep your shield up. Keep praying, keep celebrating that you are able to give your life to service, that you are able to be service and to be that anchor of light into this world, because that's all that we can do. Bye, guys.
Most of you know that it is thanks to the love and support of this community that we were able to build a village for special needs children out here in Tanzania. That village now provides a safe and loving home for nearly 200 children that were living in crisis. Most of these children have special needs, but a lot of these children were homeless, and the majority have no parents or guardians in this world other than the family that this community has allowed us to create. Everything that we do is made possible thanks to partners who choose to partner with our family, and with it make everything that we do possible, and keep our doors open for the next children who need some help or a safe and loving family home. If you would like to hear more about our partnership program, you can do so by visiting www.sharetanzania.com/partnership.